see if does this show up on Twitter?
Go. Oh yeah, like when it says people go on live, it says like it alerts them or whatever.
Yeah. Oh well, that's okay. What's going on, moms and dads? This is the Fade You podcast. We're live on YouTube on Sunday, September 18th. We are halftime of Packers Bears. We're going to look ahead to the second half. We're going to see if Den comes in and tries to middle himself. That would be hilarious. We are going to recap just an insane Sunday of week 2 in the NFL. My name is Matthew James at Matthew James 78. I've got Chris Duke here. I've got the Bucket Boy here, Chris Duke at Hazmat Suit 23. Neil at Big Nelly Buckets. Chris and the Freck are 4-0 in the Super Contest on this crazy-ass day. That is unbelievable. Hats off to you, Chris. I don't know how you navigated and you picked and chose like a god. And hell of a day for you, Dad.
Yeah, crazy. We thought. I know you texted me, man. You put in Cardinals and left out Jets in it. They both ended up fucking winning outright. Holy fuck, dude! What a day. Crazy.
It's insane. So, okay, what do we think Dennis is going to do here in the second half? The total is over, so he loses Bears first half. He came in on the dog. He must have thought, oh, the Bears won last week and the Packers look bad, so I'll get cute and I'll take the dog, and he did. So he got Bears first quarter, right? Packers score on the first play of the second quarter.
Of course, one play too late.
Classic. Yeah. And he does get the first half over. So we'll see. What do you think he does second half here, Chris? He probably thinks his Bears full is a loser.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised. I don't know. He might just take his medicine. And I mean, he's had a rough Sunday after he had a pretty solid Saturday. We'll see, because I think you guys texted the record something like 7-15 or something. It's 8-16.
I don't know.
He has a godly amount of. I don't know how he fires so much, but
yeah, it's hard to keep track when he has 40 bets in 2 days. Just this guy is an absolute maniac. There's just really nobody else quite like Dennis. Neil, we were pretty close. So Neil and I, before we hit record, were wondering what the second half line would be. And I think I said 3.5 or 2.5. It's 3. And the total is 20.
Ooh. Our girl Kelly in Vegas asked what Den's on second half.
Yeah. What's he? Yeah, Den playing Bears second half. Hard to imagine he would double down at this point, but I mean, we'll see what happens. So if Den comes in, Chris will take care of that, and we'll just kind of go back and forth. But let's recap the ones that we did talk about on Friday's preview pod, Thursday or Friday or whatever day that was. I think we talked about 5 games. Did Kmart end up talking about the Cardinals? Was that the last one? Because we kind of stole his Saints. Is that right? Did he talk about? We did definitely talk about Cardinals.
I don't know. I know we said remember. In terms of teams that couldn't look any more shitty last week. And I was shocked when Riley sent me his 5 and it included Arizona. I was like, and guys, I think that is now 3-0 for when lines are 5.5. I've said that that's my favorite line in the contest. Yeah. It's now 3-0. I think I'm obligated to just take that dog every time now, because everyone thinks, 6, 7 is a key number, and 5 ends up. It's you get it to a score of the back. I can't believe I sent a double yug because I said if these Cardinals get in the back door after being down 20-0 at half, holy shit.
Chris, I think you came out of the womb loving 5. Just anytime it's 5, ever since I've known you, the last few years, we've done the contest, we've bet. Anytime it's 5, dead number, right? And you just kind of snap called it. So Cardinals came through. I don't know how. It was 20-0 at halftime. It's too bad Den didn't double down on Raiders second half. That's too bad. You almost have to harness there, right?
Yeah, I was going to text you guys, should we do it? Because it would have been great. He would have been 0-2. I mean, the Falcons, you got to love the Falcons blocked punt And then, oh man, just gotta love those second halves when the dogs just get back in it.
Absolutely unbelievable. So we did talk about cards on the preview pod. That came through obviously with the wild outright winner. If anybody took money line on Cardinals or some of these that were just wild comebacks, just hit us up, let us know. We'd love to see that. I don't know if we still have Neil. Neil, you still with us?
I am. Can you hear me?
Okay, yeah, your video's bad, but that's fine.
Oh, that's right.
New York Football Giants, never in doubt, right?
Whew, never in doubt. Yeah, they squeaked it out, but it was on -2. They did not look great coming home. Gotta say that, but they did enough on defense. Made Baker look just bad enough. Made plays when they had to. Home field came in handy on that one. So I think maybe I was thinking watching Baker, it just looked so bad. Man, thinking maybe Baker's just going to be that auto fade like Big Ben was for Joe last year. Just make it easy and just auto fade Baker because he does not look good.
Shout out to the Carolina Panthers who improved to 5-14 against the spread in the last 2 seasons. Chris, is that bad?
Wow, Matt Rule, the great hope from Baylor.
What a god!
For his last 9.
Wow,
what a great
ATS,
culture builder, right? Matt Rule. Does that count for much? Oh my God! First coach fired. He's got to be favored now, right?
No, Frank Wright.
Kingsbury got himself off the hot seat with that one.
You really think Frank Wright doesn't have? Okay, it's close, but I think Frank Wright is a leading contender at this point. As bad as the Colts are, I mean, this is bad, right? Matt, you tweeted it, right? Matt Ryan was supposed to be the massive upgrade, and I guess we're going right into that game. But I didn't mean to. But this was supposed to be a team. It's you get shut out, you tie the Texans, scum. You get blown out on the road. You don't score a point with that offensive line, with that offense. I get that Pittman was out, and that doesn't help your offense, but you can't go to Jacksonville and not score a point.
They scored 0 points their 2 games in the first half. Got shut out back-to-back games. Unbelievable.
Yeah. So I'm with you, Matt Rule, but I think Matt Rule's got a little bit of rope. I think it'll be interesting to see what the lines are for the first coach fired, because
I got 3 words for you, Chris. Colts week 3. Snap call. Do you have any idea do you know who they play?
Oh, it's a really smelly line. Well, aren't they like a baby?
Well, so it's Colts week 3, first home game, hosting the Chiefs.
Yes. And wasn't it the look ahead Chiefs -3 or something?
3. Yeah. Do you know what it is now? Do you know what they opened it?
4.
Yes. Just take a guess. What do you think? 4?
4.5.
6.5. 6.5.
I thought it'd be closer to a touchdown. Yeah.
Chris, that's a snap call. That's auto bet. Colts shut out in Jacksonville. They tie the Texans.
I'm
they
saying
lose to
it
the Jags.
right now.
Shut out
In my contest next week. Right now, you
lock it in.
Here. Lock it in. Home dog, baby.
That's why you gotta love
them. Who in the world is going to take the Colts after they lose and get shut out 24-0 in Jacksonville and have looked like dog shit for 2 games, and now they're playing the Chiefs?
Who just won on primetime against the Chargers? Oh, yeah.
Man. Yeah, that's a snap call. So, all right, let's just continue kind of down the road. Chris, New England. You made the case, and I did not want any part of this game. I even shout out CH. I said, why are your B and C level talented players a road favorite? And he said, because Patriots. And I stayed off the game. My guys wanted Steelers in the contest. I said, no, we're not doing that. We're doing Jaguars. And you hung tough, you and Riley, with Patriots. You were never going to take it out. You were always going to do it, and it paid off.
Well, I definitely thought about it because he had Niners in his 5, and we took that out. We could have left that in and ditched the Patriots, and I'm not a big CLV guy. We know that you can take that trophy to the grave, but it helped today because it closed 3 and we got 2. They win by 3, ended up getting a winner. So was good. And then, I mean, they led the whole. There's a lucky fumble on that punt, but they were up good. And then that's like, okay, even if and then they just kept punting because they knew, they're like, all right, go ahead, Trubisky, you're going to beat us. They kept pinning them deep and said, go 90 yards on us or 60 yards, and they got the stop. So good for them.
Tell me you don't trust Mitch to go 90 yards. Dennis did. That was one of his his works of art today. Yeah. Oh my God. Let's see. And then the other two were pretty unfortunate. I talked about Saints. I really liked that play. They're going down. It's 3-0 at halftime. The Bucs offense can do nothing. And then the Saints are going down in the third quarter to maybe go up 10-0 or 6-0. Ingram fumbles in the red zone, I think. Was he down in the 15-yard line, something like that?
Yeah, he had just broken a pretty nice run to get in the red zone, and ball pops up.
And then from there, the Bucs go get a field goal, and then the fight happens. And then, I mean, there's some pretty bad defensive calls on the Saints. I could cry about that all day. It didn't work out. I still stand by that play with the success the Saints have had against the Bucs. Not a believer in the Bucs team. Who do they have week 3? Oh my God, they're playing. They have Green Bay at home.
Oh wow.
Yeah. That would be an interesting one. I think look ahead was Tampa 3 at home. So we'll see what happens with that. So Saints, kind of unfortunate. That was a big Dennis winner. Chris, he got Bucs second half. He got Bucs full. But I think was that the one he played first quarter too?
Yeah. So I think it ended up being a split.
So you ended up splitting that one.
Yeah. That was one that I was thinking about doing because we've mentioned, these numbers that they kind of, not tricky, but they kind of bait you. It's 2.5. You kind of say, oh, the Bucs, all they have to do is win by a field goal. We looked at Saints long and hard, and we went with the other home division dog, Jaguars, and it paid off. So little stuff like that. You got to get, obviously, Cards was super lucky. Little stuff like that fall your way. But that's why we love dogs, because the door is always open. If you're getting points, you can go score garbage and get back in it.
Neil, you and Kmart had Saints too, I think.
We had Saints, hung an L on Saints. I think we will be lucky to go 2-3 again. I think G-Men were the only one to get it done for us today.
Yeah, we're going to look at teams that are 0-2 against the spread. Saints are going to be one of them. I think they're going to go lay points on the road at Matt Rule's Carolina Panthers week 3. That might be a tough one.
-3. -3 right now.
That's unstoppable force meets immovable object right there. Saints lay. How did that work out for the Saints in week 1, laying points on the road as a division fave?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I think I sent you guys the look ahead lines on Tuesday or Wednesday, and I was very intrigued by how many little -3s there were on the road. And it's like, ooh, it's going to be a week where you just got to try to pick the right ones, because there's going to be a handful for sure.
And then the last one I want to talk about is I think 3 of us had Broncos -10 in the Super Contest. And our friend Adam Trigger was also on Broncos -10. I think a lot of people were. And I don't really know what to say about this one. Do we just so we had no Dennis in the second half, right?
No text from him, man. I guess he's just laying low.
Well, we'll wind down here in the next 5 minutes while this third quarter is kicking off. But back to the Broncos. Obviously 0-2 against the spread. They played Seattle and Houston, and they're 0-2 against the spread. Neil, do we think that the market just really overrated what this team was going to be? Like, do you make an adjustment after just 2 weeks? Is the jury still out? This coach is getting shit from everywhere, every direction. Everybody says this guy is a clown. The 3rd and 1 where they tried some kind of reverse to some backup receiver that probably played a couple snaps. And then they lose yardage there. On 4th down, they decided to go for a field goal, but there was confusion, so the play clock runs out, and now you can't even kick the field goal anymore, and you're punting. They're just lost on the goal line. What do you make of Denver?
Interesting, I think, with Denver, because you've heard so much of Russell Wilson, like this partnership nonsense, right? So it's like it seems like there's a lot of who's in charge of that offense, and you have two people sort of in the moment trying to figure it out like together, because it's not looking good, right? Where like you said, you have, it just doesn't look like somebody who's been a quarterback for a dozen years at a high level. Like he knows what he's doing, right? He looks lost. He looks like a rookie. Coach looks like a rookie. Like it just doesn't make any sense. And you go back to the off season where they were just talking about how, wanted to be a partnership and he wanted to be on as, part of the offense. Something's not working. Like the direction just needs to come. And I think someone just needs to be a full decision maker. And I think Russell needs to give up whatever control he sort of has so that he can just go out and play football, and you have an offensive coordinator who's called plays, because you're right. They look lost. I don't know how else to put it.
Absolutely no idea what they're doing. Now, you look ahead, week 3, you're going to get Broncos on Sunday Night Football hosting San Francisco and Jimmy G. We haven't even talked about that yet. Chris, I can't imagine too many people are going to be excited at the thought of laying points with the Broncos against San Francisco on Sunday night. I mean, look at it this way. The Broncos can't even beat Seattle. And the 49ers beat Seattle by 20. And now you're going to get an 0-2 against the spread Broncos team at home against the 49ers. Do you think that's going to be a public dog with the Niners on Sunday night? I think it's reopening at 2.5.
Oh man, with Broncos minus 2.5.
I think so.
Ooh, yeah, that's going to be interesting, because it's funny. It's funny. Was the narrative of it's tough to go to Denver and play? Was it a week early? Like everyone was kind of playing that. Is it going to? I mean, it's going to be tough. The Niners had a relatively easy win today, and so they look like to be fired up. But like you said, are they going to be super down on Denver after what they saw and be like, oh, Jimmy G's back, the Niners are back? So we'll see. It'll be interesting. We love to check out for trendy dogs. Is it going to be a trendy dog, Matt?
I mean, I think so. Neil, do you agree? Do you think it's going to be people are not going to want to lay points with Denver? After 0-2 ATS, they're 1-1 against Seattle and Houston.
So I think I look at it sort of different, and then maybe it'd be a different opponent. I'd see it differently. As the non-San Francisco lover, I could care less. They mean nothing to me as a fan. Like if I had a Niners season win ticket in my hand, I'd feel so much I feel so much better today than I did at the beginning of the day, because I think at the end you just trust Jimmy G more in this offense, I think, as an onlooker. So I think it's a trendy dog just to say I think San Francisco this season is better with Jimmy G than they are with Trey Lance. That's my opinion. And I think the dog would be more so just because I think there's going to be a lot of people who are thinking like, here's Jimmy G's back.
I want to know what the total gets set at for that game. I mean, both Niners and Broncos are 2-0 to the under, right? And I don't think it's been particularly close. Yeah.
I mean, the Denver's D has done what we thought they would, but that offense just has just been in shambles once they've. So it kind of makes you think, well, is that going to continue? I mean, you got to think they're not going to be fumbling and continue to just kick at, what they have that one where it's first and goal, second and goal from the one, and it's unbelievable how many times they've been down there. I think they showed some stats there. They're like just beside the second to the Bears with the goal line to go, getting touchdowns. So really,
and I think I would hesitate to say that the both teams are 2-0 to the under, because the competition has been the Texans, the Bears, and Seattle. They're in the rain. Bears in the rain.
Yeah.
And then Seattle in both. Like, we're not juggernaut offenses that we're going, like, neither team has faced a top 10 offense, much less they're probably bottom 20 or whatever.
Yeah, I'm seeing Circa at 43.5, Westgate 43. WinBet is actually down at 42.5. So, and then you've got the primetime under narrative. So I wonder how that's going to move. Chris, you got any other takeaways from today? We'll wrap this up here in a couple minutes. I mean, I don't know if you want to talk about Flacco. I don't know if you want to talk about that insane game between the Broncos and the Ravens. I had Broncos, or I had Dolphins 3.5.
Dolphins,
yeah,
Ravens,
I meant Dolphins. Yeah, I had Dolphins 3.5 in the contest, and I buried that one in the second quarter. And for them to win that game is pretty unbelievable. What's your other takeaway, Chris?
Yeah, that was unbelievable. That game will now have us not pre-banging anything because we now know that no lead is safe. I can't believe Harbaugh and then the Ravens took off the gas and let that. I mean, that's the team you expect, the Falcons or the Lions or some, scum team to do that. But for the Ravens to do that with that defense is kind of unbelievable. But it's beautiful. It's why I know someone said they laid with the 6 or 7 with the Browns, and I'm just like, oh, and I'm like, he's like, they got 14 on answer. I'm like, again, that's why in this league, you get lean road dogs and crazy, man. We love it. These first buddy, fucking beautiful.
Shout out Anteater. Our buddy had a sick parlay with a bunch of dogs, right? He had Cardinals, he had Jaguars, and he puts Browns money line in there just for another leg because it's free money, right? I mean, I think there was one other L, so that's not the reason it lost, but you never know.
Just crazy. And he said specifically fade Flacco. And didn't Flacco have like a pretty great game? Would he have like 300 plus yards and 3 touchdowns or something?
I think he had 4, 2 to Garrett Wilson. There were 1 million points scored in the last 2 minutes of that game. They get the onside kick, just insanity. I mean, oh my God, yeah. Browns. You know why? It's because they put that goddamn elf on at midfield. I swear to God, I saw Dave Sherapan had a hat on with that. What's the goddamn elf's name?
I forget. I saw it though. It was hilarious. It was hilarious.
They talked about it on the broadcast. It's the folklore is that it shows up to your house and does your chores. I'm like, so now you're gonna. Not only does that, but it loses to the Jets as a touchdown favorite at home.
Fuck! Send that elf my way.
Yeah.
And I think pour one out. My last thing, pour one out. The 3. I think who tweeted this out? I think it might have been WinBet or something. The 3 top teased games. Do you guys see this? Browns were teased right down to like a half.
Oh yeah,
they
Bengals.
Lose outright. Then you had
to be Bengals, right?
Yeah, had Bengals. Right. That
Bengals
Cowboys game. Wow.
Was teased down, and then the Washington Commandos from +1.5, +2 was teased up. They miss a PAT at the end.
Oh my God.
They lose by 9. The top 3 teaser legs this week, all L's.
Well, and I had the Saints teased up too to 8.5. I mean, because that game's it's 3-0 at halftime. Yeah. I'm like, oh, this is going to be great. Low scoring. Maybe they lose by 6 or 7. Nope. Lose. Jameis throws 1 million picks at the end of the game. They don't call them teasers for nothing. That's for sure. Yeah. But yeah, Chris, simply no way the Cowboys win with a backup quarterback with Cooper Rush, right? It's just 0 way.
No way.
Against a team that was in the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
Right. No way.
Super Bowl loser hangover. Yeah. Wow. Is it ever real? Look at that. 0-2.
Now the Bengals. So a quick shout out. The teams that played in overtime week 1-3 against the spread today. The Texans were the only cover. Colts obviously were shut out. Steelers didn't cover against the Pats. Bengals didn't cover. Your Houston Texans, Neil. So we did have 2 games go to overtime today. So keep an eye out those for next week too. The Bengals are going to go on the road to the Jets and lay more points to Flacco off the huge win. I mean,
free money. Sounds like free money, Matt.
There's absolutely no way the Jets win 2 in a row, right? Simply 0 way.
What is that line? All right. Like 6.5, something like that.
4.5.
We'll get out. We'll get out of here with this. I know the look ahead was 6, and it's now 4.5.
Mm-hmm.
Please be 5.
Fucking disgusting.
Please be 5. Can we get a 5 there, Chris? Can we get Bengals -5, please?
Please make me take the Jets.
Oh man. Okay. We did have a few people listening while we were live. Appreciate you guys. Let us know what you thought. We will be back on Thursday to preview week 3. We're going to let all this marinate for a couple days. I don't know if we'll do before Thursday night football or halftime or after. We'll do something like that. So I guess the last thing to do is remind everybody what happens when you take poop.
You might be down 20-0. Get a touchdown with 0 seconds on the clock. Go to overtime and fumble 6 your ass to a victory.
So hot.